Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where I discuss everything American Girl. Today I'm going to be doing a video on the final part of all my dolls videos. So this is the part 3, the last part I hope to showcase my entire American Girl collection. So yeah, so I am filming in a different spot just because the usual window I use is being used as an office. But yeah, so I'm just going to introduce you to the rest of my doll collection. Alrighty, so before we get started, I would love to hear back what you think of my doll collection. And also, if you really love my videos, please subscribe and let me know what you also like to see on my channel. So let's get started. Alrighty, so as you can see here, my 21st doll that I got was Melody. So she's a historical character. She is very beautiful and sweet looking, and I gotta say, so my previous doll that I got before Melody was Mary Ellen, and I got her in 2015. So from the period between Mary Ellen and when I obtained Melody, I believe I got Melody in 2019, so I had around 4 years or so where I wasn't actually getting any new dolls. I actually decided to focus on getting retired American Girl historical items, specifically like clothing, accessories, and furniture and things like that. So it was a really big deal for me to be able to go back to the American Girl store and actually purchase Melody. I do think though too that I made a pretty good decision to take not really a break from American Girl, but just not buying actively from the store and the website as I do now. Just because during that time period there was a lot of things going on, like for example, the perma panties situation, and then the bad eyes other situation too that came along during those years. So I thought it wasn't a bad idea for me to take like a small break from buying from American Girl, again the website and the store only. But I remember, so during this time in 2019, I was working full time, and I decided, I was like, I really always wanted to get Melody because she's a really beautiful historical doll. And I was just like, I should go pick her up. So I went to the American Girl store, I believe in Dallas. And I remember it was very funny because me, my brother, and his friend, we all went looking for a Melody doll in 2019. And it was very funny because we went through every doll and we discovered they all had perma panties. And so when talking to, I believe, the manager at the time at the store, she told us that, at that time in 2019, they were trying to get rid of the back stock they had of Melodies that had all perma panties. So I actually had to special order her to make sure she did not come with perma panties, which is really interesting. So really funny. I just noticed this right now, but Melody, I never noticed that. I guess I never took her out of her little hairnet off of her head. So I guess I'll proceed to do that now. I remember opening her, but I guess I thought her hair is really beautiful, so I just didn't want to take it out of this little hairnet. So I'm going to proceed to do that now. Oh, yep, it's right here. Oh, hello, sweet pea. Alrighty. There she is. So I just gotta let her hair fall naturally. Yeah, so okie dokie, so there she is. Yeah, I don't know why I totally forgot that she still had her hairnet on, and obviously she's still very much new in box quality because I just kept her with her hairnet on, and I kept her kind of like on display only in my doll room. But yes, so I got her in 2019 around March. Alrighty, so these two dolls are the dolls I purchased next after Melody. So these are specifically Nellie. I believe I got her in fall 2019. And I also believe I got Elizabeth right here next to her, which these both are very much sought after retired historical best friends that have been retired for more than 10 years. And they were dolls I had on my dream wish list for many, many years. And it's really funny because I believe I bought Nellie in 2019, and then I bought Elizabeth in 2020. And it's very, very funny for some strange reason. I have not opened them up. I don't know why. I think some part of me, when I purchased them, I know when I did purchase them, I was working full time, and I felt like I wouldn't have time to bond with them when I opened them up. So what happened was that accidentally kept them brand new in box this whole time. So I do plan to open them. I really do in the future. Maybe I hope within this year I'll open up all the dolls I have purchased and finally, let them be out of their boxes. But they are absolutely gorgeous. I love them so much, and I'm so proud of myself for finally being able to find these dolls for very, very good prices. I believe I got Nellie for around $150, and then I believe I got Elizabeth right around $180. Again, I just searched and searched for different deals on them. I did, again, get them a few years back, and I do plan to open them. And weirdly enough, I've also acknowledged that some part of me, I guess, thought that after I collected some of my dream dolls, I assumed that I would never be able to open a new doll again. So I think that's why some part of me subconsciously thought to keep some of these dolls new in box, because I felt like I'd never be able to open a new doll. So anyway, I noticed that is absolutely not true, that American Girl is producing beautiful historical dolls and beautiful Girl of the Year dolls and also Truly Me dolls. So I will always be able to purchase dolls, and I've even been loving getting retired, hard to find, Girl Today dolls and Pleasant Company dolls. So, I will always have other dolls to open. But I think when I got these dolls, I assumed that I would stop collecting, and it's just absolutely not true. So I do, again, plan to fully open them in the future. But yeah, so this is my brand new Nellie doll and my brand new Elizabeth doll. Alrighty, so this is my next doll, who is Luciana, who is Girl of the Year of 2018. So I have to say that I have a really good memory with her, just because I believe that my best friend actually got her for me for my birthday in 2021. And I have to say it was really touching, because the only people who have ever gotten me dolls were usually my grandparents or my parents. So I just was really touched that my best friend thought to get me her for my birthday. But yeah, I think she's a really cute doll. I think she has a lot of beauty and charm with her beautiful short hair, and I know not a lot of people like her galaxy print dress. It's not my favorite, but I think she's just really beautiful. I love her little haircut. I love her beautiful brown eyes. I just think she's just really cute and sweet. Alrighty, so my next doll here is Ruthie. So she is best friend to Kit Kittredge, and I believe I got her in summer of 2021. So a bit about Ruthie is that I've always wanted Ruthie ever since she first came out with Kit, when I believe Kit's movie premiered. I forgot what year that was, but I remember being so sad when 2014, when her and Ivy retired, and I chose to purchase Ivy just because I had Julie longer at the time, and I really regretted not being able to pick up a Ruthie doll before she retired from the American Girl store. But many years later, in 2021, I decided to save up for her and buy her on, I believe I got her on eBay. So I got a pretty good deal for her. At first, I thought spending over $200 for her was a lot of money, but I realize now that she's worth more now because, again, she's hard to find. She's also very beautiful. And again, I have not opened her. I don't know what it is. Again, I thought that I would come back maybe between time when I was in college to open her up and things like that, and I never did. So I do plan to open her up very soon in the future. Alrighty, so these are my two next dolls, which are Girl of the Year 2003, which is Kailey, and then I also have Girl of the Year 2005, which is Marisol. So I believe I got them around the same time in 2021. I believe I actually bought Marisol first during the fall 2021, and then a month or two later I bought Kailey. So these dolls, they were really important to me because I have always wanted them when I was growing up, and I decided in 2021 that I really wanted to pursue getting all the Girl of the Year dolls, specifically the ones that I grew up wanting and I never got while growing up. So I believe I got them both off of eBay. Marisol, I believe she came from a eBay seller, and she told me a story about how she actually bought this doll for her daughter. And funny enough, when her daughter grew up, she found out that she didn't like dolls, and so that's when she decided to sell Marisol. And it was really touching because with this Marisol doll, she asked me a lot of questions about myself because she wanted to make sure that this doll was going to go to a loving doll collector who was going to appreciate and enjoy her. And I remember when I got her in the mail, or got her delivered at my house, she actually sent me this really touching letter about how she's so thankful that Marisol is going to have a great, wonderful home, and she's glad that I took her in and things like that. It was just so touching. I do have that letter, and maybe one day I'll show it. I think I have it in storage right now, but that's one of the great things I remember about getting my Marisol doll. And then Kailey here. I wanted Kailey for many, many years. I remember having pictures of her on my elementary notebooks and things like that, and on my backpack, I believe. And I remember asking her for Christmas, and my parents said that they couldn't do it that year, which I completely understand, but I felt really bad on missing out on her. But yes, I do have her now, and she is also new in box. She comes with the older Girl Today, she comes with the older Girl Today box, as you can see here. So yeah, so it's with the little polka dots. So that's why I have her box open compared to Marisol's box. I do apologize about that glare. I was trying to take it off, but I don't know. Maybe I'll open her box to see what it looks like, but I do plan to open up these two girlies really, really soon. Alrighty, so here is Marisol without the top portion of her box. As you can see, she's brand new, and I also have kept her book inside with her box. So Kailey did came with her book. I actually decided to read it. So that's why she's not with her book right now. That's because I'm just reading it right now. But yeah, so these are the two girlies, and they are just so beautiful. And again, I do hope to open them up both very, very soon. Alrighty, everybody. So this is my next doll, who is Courtney, who is a historical character. So I believe I got her for Christmas in 2021. And I remember being really touched because my grandparents actually bought her for me. I remember it was very funny when they were asking me what I wanted for Christmas, and I remember saying, I still like American Girl, and I remember their answer was specifically, you want a doll? You still like dolls? And I'm like, yeah, I love dolls. I've never stopped. And they started laughing, and I guess after that conversation, they decided to purchase the newest historical character at the time, which was Courtney. So here she is. So yeah, I think she's really cute. I do love her beautiful hair and things like that. I haven't finished her books, but I do hope to finish reading all her historical books to see more about her character and things like that. I do hope in the future I get more of her little outfits, because I do think they're really, really cute. And maybe get her bed. I'm not too sure. I'm kind of up in the air. I do think she's a cute little doll. Alrighty, everybody. So this is Mia. She is my 29th doll, and I believe I actually purchased her on December 25th in 2021, but didn't get her until the following year in January 2022. So I have to say, I've always wanted Mia. She was always the doll that I wanted to get also growing up, of course, because I love every Girl of the Year doll. I really do. And I remember being really, really sad when I missed out on getting her in 2008 when she was Girl of the Year. So what was really interesting about her is that actually, so I remember, actively looking for a Mia doll on secondary markets like eBay and Mercari, and I actually saw a listing for this particular Mia on eBay, and I thought it was really funny because the listing, I believe, ended exactly on Christmas Day. And I remember thinking like, oh, there's no way I'm going to get her for a good price when I bidded for her. But surprisingly, I guess other people kind of got caught up with the holiday cheer. It seemed like I was the only bidder, and surprisingly, I was able to bring her home or purchase her for around $110. And I remember thinking I got so lucky getting that deal when I purchased this beautiful Mia St. Clair. So yeah, I remember also thinking that, this seller's going to tell me like, oh, I sold her too cheap and retract the sale, but this person didn't. And so I got her in January 2022, and I was just so, so happy to have her in my collection. I got her for such a good deal, almost as if I was purchasing her at American Girl if she was still available. But yeah, she's an absolutely darling doll, and she is another unopened doll that I haven't fully taken out of her box, which is crazy, but I do plan to open her up, so I do apologize again for that. But yes, she's absolutely darling and gorgeous. Alrighty, so my 30th doll was Lindsey, who is Girl of the Year 2001. So she is absolutely darling, and she is one of my favorite Girl of the Year dolls, and I have to say she's also becoming one of my favorite dolls, surprisingly. I just absolutely love her curly auburn hair and her beautiful Y2K inspired early 2000s outfit. It is just so cute and nostalgic for me. So in 2001, I was definitely not aware of American Girl. I didn't know about American Girl until around 2003. So unfortunately, I did miss out on getting her. And I just always thought she was really cute and interesting. So I recently read her story and I absolutely loved it. It is really cute. I loved her relationship with her family and her cute little weenie dog, I believe. So yeah, I just think the little book was really, really adorable. And I gotta say, though, that Lindsey did take me a while to acquire. She was actually, her and Marisol were one of the first dolls I wanted to get in 2021, but I was having a very difficult time trying to find her for a reasonable price. And actually, I have to say that this Lindsey doll here is actually my second Lindsey. And the reason I say that is because I actually decided to order a used Lindsey. I believe I ordered her in January of 2022. And what happened was that, she looked beautiful. The owner said that she was displayed only. So she wasn't brand new in box, but I was willing to take her in because she looked really beautiful. But unfortunately, the first Lindsey came to me. It seemed like the owner accidentally put a very colorful magazine on top of her face. So unfortunately, she had all these ink stains all over her face. And I was really heartbroken, but I had to return that doll back to the original seller. So I really do thank my lucky stars because I bought her on eBay and that I made sure to check that the last seller for the first Lindsey doll had a 30-day return policy. And thank goodness I did, because I was able to return that other Lindsey, because I think that I could have removed some of the stains that she had on her face, but my issue was I was afraid it would take off her beautiful face paint. And so I decided to return her because I didn't have the confidence to do that type of repair on her. But she was a really beautiful doll, and I remember feeling really bad about returning her. And weirdly enough, I do believe in, maybe it was fate, but not long after I returned her, I saw this particular Lindsey listing on eBay, and it was a seller who seemed like her mom was a huge seller or she was a huge American Girl collector, and it seemed like she could have recently passed, and she said that, she just wanted to make sure all of her mother's dolls were going to go to someone who would love her. So I had another instance where, I had to write a letter why, I really wanted this brand new Lindsey box, and she actually gave me a discount because of it. And it was really amazing. So I got her for a really great price. Alrighty. So my 31st doll was actually 2006 Girl of the Year doll, which is Jess. She was definitely a doll that I've always wanted. I remember not long after she retired, I actually read her beautiful book. I believe I got it at the library and I read it, and I felt so bad that I missed out on getting her. She is an absolutely beautiful doll. So I do apologize about that glare going on. It is kind of dark in this room, so I do apologize. But she is also new in box, so I do have, again, the tendency to keep some of my dolls new in box for some reason. And again, I do plan to open each and every one of these dolls. So a really fun story about her was, surprisingly, I actually got her on bid on an eBay auction, I believe. So I remember many times beforehand I would bid for a new in-box Jess doll, and I'd always get outbidded. And then I also told myself that I wanted to stick a particular budget. I wanted to stay way below $200 when purchasing this beautiful Jess doll, new in-box, if possible. So, but I was really fortunate. I surprisingly won a bid for her for around $140. So I just got to say that I got such a good deal on her, and she is absolutely darling and gorgeous. And I can't wait to open her up pretty soon. Alrighty, so my next doll was actually historical best friend Emily. So I remember that when she retired with Molly in 2013, I don't know what happened, but I just completely forgot that Emily would be retired also with Molly. And so I completely missed out getting her. It was really interesting because I believe at the time I had a friend of mine who also owned a Molly doll. And this is a friend I met in college. And she bought an Emily not that long beforehand, so I think the real reason why I didn't pick her up in 2013 was because I felt kind of funny buying the same doll that she kind of recently purchased, which was kind of dumb now as I think about it. But it took me a few years to get her. I did scourge for her for a new in-box Emily doll for a while, and I was really glad to be able to find her for a decent price on eBay. As you can tell, I mostly shop eBay. I think the reason why I shop them more is just because I feel like they have a better return policy, but that's just me. But yeah, so I believe I got a pretty good deal on her. I believe I got her for $180, which was a little expensive for me, but at the same time, I just wanted to make sure that she came from a good seller and she was in beautiful, perfect condition, and she really was. She is absolutely darling, and I do plan again to open her up because I have so many dolls that I accidentally kept new in box, thinking that, I'm going to wait till a time to where I'm going to open them up and have time to, bond with them and things like that. And for some reason, I just forgot about, opening them up. And I do, again, plan to open her and many of the other dolls I have new in box very soon. But she is really darling and beautiful, and I'm so glad that my Molly doll has her English little friend with her now. Alrighty, so my next doll is actually 2001 Girl of the Year Kanani. So she is a doll that I really thought I would never be able to get. So she is very expensive on, secondary markets like eBay and Mercari, especially if you want to buy her brand new. So I took a while to look for her, and surprisingly, I finally found someone who was willing to sell her for under $200. She was still pretty pricey, but again, I just wanted to get her in this specific new in box condition because I've noticed that if I bought a used Kanani and I sent her to the doll hospital, she would have came back with a very different skin tone, and she just, to me, wasn't the same Kanani that I fell in love with back in 2011 when I saw her in stores. So I just waited and waited until I could find a decent Kanani new in box on sale. And I gotta say, she is absolutely darling. And she also hasn't been opened, so I do plan to open her up very, very soon. But I gotta say, she is definitely a beautiful, beautiful doll. And I can understand why so many absolutely love her with her beautiful skin tone, her beautiful long brown hair, and her beautiful Hawaiian dress. And it's just so adorable. And I'm so glad I have her in my collection. Alrighty, so my next doll is actually World by Us Maritza. So she is a really lovely, beautiful doll. And I gotta say that she was a very surprising gift that I got from my best friend. She actually got her for me for my birthday in 2022. So what is kind of funny is that my friend actually ordered her and she was on back order. So I actually didn't get her until later on in July of 2022. But she is really, really cute. I remember seeing her and, the other World by Us dolls and being very, I just really thought they were really gorgeous dolls. And I really loved reading her little book. It was really, really cute and, talks about really important issues that matter to a lot of us. And so I just thought she was really darling and gorgeous. And this was actually the first time I ever saw that Joss face mold, and she's just really beautiful. I love her beautiful long locks. And surprisingly, I wasn't sure about her under lashes or her bottom lashes too much, but I think they look really gorgeous on her. So I will say that I do hope to get her other two friends, which is McKenna and Yvette, one day, because, I feel funny that I only have Maritza from the World by Us collection, so I hope to get the other two in the future. But she is really darling and gorgeous, and I'm really glad that my friend decided to purchase her for me for my birthday. Alrighty, so my next doll is going to be Joss, who is Girl of the Year 2020. So I have to say that she was really fun to get because she was a doll that I actually got for myself when I was in Washington, D.C. So I picked her up at the Tyson's Corner in Washington, D.C. And I have to say that was just a lot of fun. It was really cool to know that I have a piece of Washington, D.C., especially when I had to travel with her back from D.C. all the way to Texas. So yeah, that's really cool. I got to say that this doll came from DC, and she's really, really cute. She definitely is a really beautiful doll. I do love her beautiful new, at least new to me, her Joss mold. She is really cute. I love her hair, and her little Kelly style is really, really cute also. I gotta say though that I did try to read some of her books, her first book and her second book, and I'm not saying that it wasn't well written. I do think it was interesting, but for me personally, I'm just not big into, surfing and cheerleading, so I didn't care for her books as much, unfortunately, though I do think that they're very cute. They're well written, and I did like her character and some of the characters in her novels. So I have to say that maybe I'll give it a go again, but so Joss is really cute, and I got her right before she retired from buying at the Marisol store. Alrighty, so my next two dolls are actually dolls I got from the 2022 benefit sale. So I believe I purchased them over the summer of 2022, and I was really proud to, I believe that was one of my first videos that I actually downloaded on my channel, of opening 2017 Girl of the Year Gabriella, and also opening my number 26, who I named Adeline. So yeah, so these are the two girlies. So I do remember seeing Gabriella in stores. I believe there was a pop-up store in my hometown, American Girl pop-up store in my hometown during 2017. And for some reason, I did not purchase her. I just, maybe I thought I would just go back and purchase her later, but she retired, unfortunately, and I totally forgot to pick her up, and I feel really bad about that. But at the same time, there's a lot of stuff going on in 2017. It wasn't long after I graduated from college, so I could understand, again, why I waited a bit of time to purchase my Gabriella doll. And then for my number 26, I have to say that I've wanted her for many, many years. She was definitely a doll that I always wanted to get to be friends with my number 23, who is my Abby doll. She's my oldest, just like you doll. And so I just kind of wanted to get her, I felt bad that she was my only just like you or truly me doll. So I wanted to get a doll for, not only kind of like to have like friends with my Abby doll, but I just kind of wanted to have more truly me dolls. And it really unleashed something else in me, because now I want to get retired American Girl Today dolls, just like you dolls, and truly me dolls now. So yeah, I really have to really kind of just decide which dolls I really, really want in my collection and stick to them. So yeah, but yeah, so I really love these dolls. They're really, really cute and adorable. I noticed though that my Gabriella doll, she does come with the bad eyes, and I've considered sending her to the doll hospital to get them replaced, but we'll see. They're not bothering me too much right now. She's still just a beautiful, beautiful doll. So I am not too eager to send her into the doll hospital, just because, again, like, American Girl doesn't, reimburse you for, a mistake they made. So I just don't understand that, but it is what it is. So, but I am considering, sending her to the doll hospital. But right now, I think she's gorgeous. And then right here, my beautiful number 26, my Adeline doll. I think she is absolutely adorable. I have considered maybe wanting to get an older version of this doll, but right now I think I'm pretty content with her. She's really, really cute. I absolutely love her beautiful Addie face mold, her hazel eyes, and her beautiful curly hair. It is very different compared to Gabriella's hair, even to my Cecile's hair, so I think it's really, really cute. They are both really beautiful dolls, and I'm so glad that I was able to get them during the first time I was able to purchase from the American Girl benefit sale. Alrighty, so my next doll that I got in 2022 was Nicki. So she is Girl of the Year 2007. She was a doll that I definitely always wanted to get, and I remember seeing her in stores during 2007, and I felt bad not purchasing her. I felt like I didn't have that much in common with her when I was a young girl, but I realize now that her stories are really, really good. I recently read Nicki and then Thanks to Nicki, and I absolutely loved her books. So I'm so glad to be able to have her. And I remember looking for her new box for many years, and I finally found a seller not long after I purchased my Joss doll who were selling her for a good price. And I remember going back and forth with the seller about trying to find a good middle price that we could both agree on. And surprisingly, they said yes. So I got her for a little under $200 new in box. She is really beautiful. I love her beautiful curly hair, her freckles, and I absolutely love her beautiful, Western inspired outfit. It is so cute. Right now she's on a doll stand because I don't know what it is, but when I stand her by herself with her boots, she has a tendency to fall over. There is a story that it's a story that me and my best friend kind of laugh about recently, is that when she was standing by herself, she knocked down a lot of my dolls that are on display in my doll room, and so we just kind of like have this running joke where Nicki's gonna knock over a doll, you watch it, she's gonna take someone down with her, and I was just like, no, we're not gonna have her do that. She's a very valuable doll, and I really don't want anything bad to happen to her, so that's why she is on a doll stand. But she is absolutely darling and gorgeous. So I hope in the future I might be able to get the rest of her collection, but again, I'm not too sure. I would like definitely some more outfits for her, and probably getting Sprocket the dog for her in the future. Alrighty, so my last new in-box doll is Sonali Matthews, who is best friend doll to Carissa Maxwell in 2009. So she was definitely a doll that I thought for sure I would never be able to find or obtain. She is literally just one of those dolls that I think I'm going to open her up. Hopefully I plan to open her up once I am able to purchase a Gwen doll, just so I could say I finally have Carissa's two best friends that I did not be able to get when I got Carissa in 2009. So I'm hoping to open those two up in person, but we'll see. I gotta say though that Sonali was one of the most expensive dolls I've ever purchased. I believe I spent over $380 for her, that was a lot of money for me. And I have to say, I think after I purchased her, I kind of told myself to calm down on some of my American Girl spending. She was very expensive, but again, I thought she was really worth it because I saw so many used Sonalis for that price and more. And I just felt like I had to get her. If I could get her new in box, it'd be absolutely wonderful. And I remember searching for her for the longest time new in box, and I just really thought I would never be able to get her. And I was just so fortunate to be able to have, the savings to be able to get her. I gotta say, like, it's very easy to say that I, saved up for her and bought this doll, but I will not kid you. I've had a Sonali fund for many years, and I decided to use that little fund that I saved for so long to buy her. And I gotta say, I think I made a great decision because she is absolutely gorgeous. And again, I'm not too sure when I will open her up. She is just so valuable. I feel bad for opening her up, you know what I'm saying? But I know I shouldn't, because I know this doll definitely wants to be loved, just like my other dolls. So I think I will open her up once I get best friend doll Gwen from 2009 also. So I just, again, I am waiting until I get her. I have not found the right Gwen doll, but I am definitely out searching for her too, because she is kind of expensive also, but it's okay. I feel like the hardest thing for me was getting this beautiful Sonali doll, and I'm so thankful to be able to have her and to say that I actually purchased her new in box. Alrighty, so the last doll I purchased into the year of 2022 was actually my number 4, which I named Lina Yumi. So she was definitely a doll I always had on my wish list. So when I was growing up, I was really focused on getting like historicals and some Girl of the Year dolls. And I remember saying to myself, I'm going to get her after I'm done buying historical dolls. And when that happened, I found out that she retired and that she was very, sought after type of doll, that she got a lot of popularity, at least through, AGTube and AGIG. So I noticed that her prices have skyrocketed. So I decided to wait to find the perfect number 4, and she is absolutely darling. I just absolutely adore her. I love her beautiful face mold, and I absolutely love her beautiful pie bangs. She's just so beautiful. She is absolutely striking. She is absolutely my favorite Truly Me dolls or Girl Today dolls. She is absolutely darling. So, surprisingly, I actually decided to purchase her off of Mercari. She was my first Mercari purchase, and I gotta say, it went pretty well. I was a little afraid that, it would be hard to kind of find a good deal for a number 4. and there were so many people watching her. I thought for sure someone would buy her, buy her first compared to me. And I remember, asking for, a better price for her, asking for an offer price. And I remember the seller kind of saying, no, I'm sorry, but she's really popular right now. I could get her for more. And I just thought for sure, like, she would sell this beautiful doll to someone else. And surprisingly, she actually agreed to buying her a little around $200. I think it was $200 with tax and shipping. So she was about $180, and I have to say that's a pretty great deal for her. She is absolutely darling, and I have to say that she is a Pleasant Company doll. I've noticed because she is a little bigger in the body, and there's a lot of shoes that don't fit her. That's what I've noticed recently. But she is beautiful. She has a squishy face, which is really cool. I've never had a Pleasant Company doll. So apparently the seller did tell me that she is a Pleasant Company doll that she purchased in, I believe, 1996 or 97. So I just thought that was really cool. She kept her in really good condition, and she's just absolutely darling. She has no silver eye. She is really perfection. She does have like a little nick on her nose, and she said that actually when she purchased her, she already had that little nick. And she believes it was kind of a factory defect. So I think she's gorgeous. I don't even notice it. You can only see if you look really, really close at her nose. But other than that, she's absolutely darling. So yeah, so she is a doll that I really thought I would never get also. And after purchasing her, I decided, I was like, okay, 2022 was a great year. And I need to calm down buying some dolls, because I think 2022 was a year I bought the most dolls for my collection. But yes, so this is my beautiful Lina Yumi, and she is definitely one of my favorite Girl Today dolls, or Truly Me dolls. Alrighty, so one of my newer dolls, which is McKenna, I got her in January, or this month, of 2023. So McKenna was definitely a doll that I remember talking about in my 2022 doll wish list, saying that I always wanted to get, and I remember missing out on getting her in 2012, and I felt really bad about this. And I gotta say, for years I've been looking for her. She was definitely one of the top dolls on my wish list. She was a doll that was, priced at like $350 to $400 on eBay and Mercari, and I was just like really flabbergasted how expensive she was. And so I was surprised to see that there was a few eBay auctions around Christmas time. So I have this rule to shop, eBay and Mercari around Christmas time, because there's definitely some really good deals that I've scored in the past during Christmas time to get, rare dolls and rare items. And so I decided that this Christmas, or that the holiday era, was definitely the time for me to look for a McKenna doll. And a few times I bidded on a few McKennas that were new in box, and I got outbidded on each and every one of them. And surprisingly, I found a listing in early January for this beautiful McKenna doll. And I remember actually the listing was kind of funny. It said that she was a doll from the doll hospital. And I remember asking the seller, I said, could you elaborate on this? Because it just didn't make sense, because she looked brand new in box. And when talking to the seller, I found out that she actually mislabeled her listing, and she actually, forgot that the doll hospital is very different than the doll benefit sale. So she actually told me that she purchased her at the benefit sale in 2012, and that actually she was new in box, and she was not from the doll hospital at all. But yeah, so I actually checked to see if she has an X on the back of her bottom, and she actually doesn't. So she is just absolutely gorgeous, brand new, perfect condition, and I'm so proud and happy to have her in my collection after many years, over 10 years of wanting her, really. So yeah, she is beautiful, and I have to say I got her for such a good deal, because I decided to ask questions, and I always recommend that when shopping eBay and Mercari. Just ask a lot of questions, because you never know. And because I, established that repertoire with that seller, she actually gave me such a good deal for her. So I got her for $120, and she is absolutely darling. I love her, and I cannot wait to get more items for her. I definitely want to get some more of her outfits for her and things like that. And I absolutely love her books, and I also probably need to get her movie. I watched her movie years ago when it premiered on TV, but I think I need to get it now because she is just so cute. And I gotta say, she is just really beautiful. She definitely is more beautiful than I thought she would ever be. I absolutely love her. I love her beautiful hair and her beautiful striped dress. She is just so beautiful, and I'm so glad I waited for the perfect deal to snatch up my beautiful McKenna. Alrighty, so my final doll for all my dolls video is actually going to be Kira, who's Girl of the Year 2021. She is the latest doll that I have gotten in the last few days. So here's Kira, and she is really, really cute. I have to say, for the longest time I wasn't sure if I wanted to get her because she looked a lot like Julie, but I gotta say she does have differences compared to the Julie I have. She definitely has thicker, beautiful, kind of wavy blonde hair, and her eyes are really, really adorable. I absolutely think she is so cute, and I'm still reading her book, so I feel like once I read her book, I'll be able to get to know her a little better. But yeah, she's a really beautiful doll, and I gotta say, I did get her with a coupon at American Girl. And she is definitely one of the latest dolls I bought at the American Girl site comparing to buying dolls on secondary markets like eBay and Mercari. Alrighty guys, so this is all my dolls. So I am so glad and thankful for everyone for tuning in and watching the final part of all my dolls videos. So if you'd like to recommend any more videos, please don't hesitate to comment in the comment section and tell me what you think about each and every one of my dolls. So thank you again, everybody, and I hope to see each other very, very soon.